Pokemon's gotten out of control, or I could say the fans themselves of Pokemon have gotten out of control. Right now there are people spending ridiculous amounts of money just to relive their childhoods. On top of this, there are scalpers buying up all the products so nobody else can have any of it. Every time a store restocks, there are people lined up at the door ready to run in and fight each other, literally fight each other, to get to the Pokemon section and buy out all the cards. It's become a crisis. The same people that played Pokemon as a kid now have adult money and they're spending it in the most irresponsible way possible. Then there are people using all kinds of real life hacks to cheat the system, using stud finders to see if there's any holographic cards inside the packs before they open them. People are weighing the packs to see which ones are heavier because the heavier packs tend to have the holographic cards, then they resell the lighter packs for the same price that they bought them for. People are using CT scanners to create 3D models of what's inside of the packs, that way they can determine if what's inside is worth opening and more expensive than the packs, and if it's not, they're reselling the old packs. Ladies and gentlemen, how did we get to this point? Like, I understand, Pokemon's a fun thing to do. I used to play and still play sometimes. You could say I'm a Pokemon enjoyer. However, with the prices being how they are right now and the community being more Pokemon crazy than ever, I'm wanting less and less to do with Pokemon. You see, back when I used to live in the States, I would go to Target all the time. Not specifically for Pokemon, but just for Target things. Target has nice stuff, so I'd go to Target. And that child part of me exists somewhere deep, deep inside my soul, and I'd always walk over to the Pokemon cards, and time after time again, they'd be completely sold out. Little did I know it's because the scalpers know exactly when the restocks are gonna happen. They would wait outside the door like shiny pearly gates, just waiting for it to open, and as soon as it opens, they run in, they buy everything, and they take all the fun away from everybody else. And since there's enough people doing this, they essentially buy up all the cards and relist them online for whatever price they want. Then the more they do this, the more money they get to continue doing this, and it creates a cycle that, unless somebody does something about it, is never gonna stop. This has turned the hobby into a crazy money pit for anybody that just wanted to open a simple pack of Pokemon cards. Now for me, I'm not buying from the secondhand market. If it's not on the shelf at Target or whatever store I'm at, I'm just not buying it. Besides, maybe it's a hot take, but I think that the old card art is a lot better than the new card art. Like, you show me this card and then you show me this card. This card's clearly the better card. Like, you can't debate me on this. You can't take this away from me. Now, the resale market is also a complete disaster. First off, you have the scalpers who go out and buy all the product and then they sell them back to you at a 5x markup, which should be in itself a sin. But you also have the singles market, which is a fancy way of saying cards that have already been opened, like single cards. Now technically, if there's a card that you want, it is cheaper to go out and buy that one single card rather than opening a bunch of packs to try and find that one single card, which is great, that's a good thing. But there is another side of this that I just will never truly understand, which is people buying cards and sending them off to PSA to get graded. If you don't know what that is, it's basically when you take a card, you send it to a special company, and then they give you a grading or a score on the card. The scores can range anywhere from 1 to 10. 10 being the highest score, meaning your card is much, much more valuable than just a normal commoner card. 1 being your card's probably super damaged and it's probably trash junk. The thing I don't understand about this though is they put your card in a big fat plastic case which can never be opened again, or at least can't be opened if you want to keep your whatever score you got, which in my opinion kind of defeats the purpose of owning the cards to begin with. You see, these cards were made to be played with. They're made as part of a game. It's a card game that you literally sit down and you play with the cards, and you're putting them inside these plastic slabs to never be used again, just to be a shelf piece. Which I kind of get it. When you have a PSA 10 card, it's saying, hey, this card's in perfect condition. There's no other card out there that's better than this card because this is a PSA 10, baby. Like, you don't get any better than this. Give me an extra $10,000 for it. Which, again, almost makes sense to me, but I don't care. Give me a Charizard with a crease down the middle and coffee stains all over that bad boy, and I'll be happy. Now, maybe my brain's wired up the wrong way, and I'm the crazy one for thinking that's a terrible way of spending your money. But you tell me. But then you have the people just completely cheating the system. Like, imagine buying packs online, and when you go to open them all up, you get no good cards because the guy that sold them to you used a stud finder to take all the good packs away from you and then just sell you all the junk. That's happening. That's fun. That's a good time. I don't even know how you'd explain that to your friends. Like, hey, I just spent $200 on these cards and I got a 10 cent Pikachu. I'm doing great. It seems sketchy and I would be nervous every time I buy packs. But it gets even crazier because somebody figured out you can use CT scanning systems to create 3D renders of what's inside of a Pokemon card pack to see exactly what cards are inside. What? Now, CT scanning is expensive, so I can only see this being used with like the older base set packs where they're like $300, $400, $500, $600, $1,000 a pack, whatever it is, some crazy number. You see, once you know what's inside of it, you could say, okay, I spent $500 on this pack, but there's a $1,000 Charizard inside. Let's go ahead and open that pack, resell the Charizard. And then all the packs that didn't have the Charizard, let's go ahead and just resell all those for the exact same price I bought them for, because why not? You could theoretically spend $5,000 on a bunch of packs, take the ones with the profitable cards out, then resell the other ones, maybe $4,000, you get that money back, and then resell all the cards you just pulled out of the packs, maybe make a net profit of like, I don't know, $3,000 or something. Not even to mention that you might send those cards in for grading because they're pack fresh, they might be good. You might get a PSA 10 Shadowless Charizard, and now you've got a $20,000, $50,000, $80,000 card, whatever those cards go for. Like, the Pokemon community is the most wild community in existence right now. Then there's all kinds of other shady stuff happening in Pokemon. People reslabbing fake PSA 10 cards. People resealing base set booster boxes, taking all the good cards out of them and then selling you back the box like it was never opened. And those only cost like, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000, some crazy price like that. And these things are happening and people still buy them. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Then you have people just opening packs and resealing them with super glue and selling them online. That's another thing that's going on. Good job, Pokemon community. Then, of course, you have the scalpers and the scalping bots, and those are just buying everything out so they can resell them to you, which you would think could be fixed if the Pokemon company just printed more cards to begin with, like print so many cards that the scalpers couldn't possibly buy them all, but that's an issue I have no idea. Then we could even talk about the Pokemon company themselves just suing the crap out of everybody. Just everybody and anybody for any reason, and it's given Nintendo a really, really bad name. But that's probably a topic for another video. We don't even need to talk about that here. I physically feel pain when I see these shady things going on in the Pokemon community, and I'm not even like super into the Pokemon community. I'm what you'd call a casual. When I was a kid, the shadiest thing happening in Pokemon is your parents might go to like Chinatown and buy some fake knockoff Pokemon packs, and then you open the packs and you can clearly see that those aren't real Pokemon cards. Those are very fake. I don't know what needs to be done with these problems, but I do know that it's not good for Pokemon. It's not good for the people playing Pokemon. It's not good for the people buying Pokemon. It's just not good all over the board. If you enjoyed this little Pokemon rant I did, then be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is a small channel, so every little subscription really means a lot to me. Bye bye.